everybody. Today I'm talking about, what am I talking about? Sun in Scorpio. What does that mean? It means that you're very mysterious. Kind of like my face with this weird lighting. I should probably change that before we go on. Okay, that's a little bit better. Anyways, the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about a Scorpio is just a general air of mystery about them. Scorpio is a sign that is associated with the occult and things that are hidden. Because Scorpios are generally focused in on those things, they have this developed sense of insight where they can really peer into things and sort of like cut through things with their eyes. If you've ever met a Scorpio before, you've probably experienced that intense stare that they can have, where it's like unflinching. So anyways, Scorpio is represented by the scorpion, and that might seem kind of weird because Scorpio is a part of the water element, and usually people think that scorpions, they just exist on land, but actually they can go in and out of water. They can swim around in water. So yeah, that's a fun fact. Little stinger thing that scorpions have is very appropriate to a Scorpio, because they're very, like I said, they're very piercing. There's just really like no bullshitting with a scorpionic person. They're usually pretty honest because they can't stand superficiality. A lot of the time Scorpios can be sarcastic because they see things so clearly, and sometimes sarcasm is just a good defense against things that bother them, because they are a water sign, they are an emotional sign, so they may act all tough about it, but really, like, deep down they're very sensitive and impressionable, and so they utilize sarcasm as a means of defense. Scorpios are prone to obsessions because they just want to be fully involved in something. They want to know the complete ins and outs of whatever it is that they're interested in, which is usually darker things. One of the main focuses of a Scorpio person is to experience intimacy with just about everything in life. It sounds kind of funny, I guess, but I mean, like, intimacy by experiencing truth with other people and with like life. They just want to know what it's truly like to be alive. And at the same time, there's something sort of otherworldly about Scorpio people, and that's because they're more in touch with their life beyond the material plane and their physical body. So maybe, this is just my theory, maybe the reason that they go to such extremes in life is because they want to fully experience their humanity while they're here. They want to know how far they can stretch the limits of their soul. Their main mode of operating is in secret. They don't like people to know what they're up to. At the same time, they're very interested in seeing into things and uncovering secrets about other people, because they're so in tune to other people. They're afraid that other people can see into them just as easily, and so they try their best to protect themselves. Notice that, like, Scorpios wear black all the time. I don't know why. Maybe because they're trying to hide or something. Maybe it's just because they like looking mysterious. Maybe it's what makes them feel comfortable, not wearing a lot of flashy colors where people are going to notice them right away. Because they're very sensitive to energy, and like, even if they don't even acknowledge anything occult or ESP or anything like that, they'll still pick up on it. They'll be like, oh, I feel all these things all the time, and I go through these mood swings, and I don't know why. Well, that's probably why. It's because you're a Scorpio that's heavy in the water element, and you just feel all these things from various external sources. Scorpios are ruled by the planet Pluto, which is at the very end of our galaxy, right? Or, the very end of the chain of what we consider to be planets. And the fact that Pluto is the furthest away from the sun, and it's symbolic in a way of the extremes that Scorpios go to. Before Pluto was discovered, Scorpio was thought to be ruled by the planet Mars, like Aries. And this opinion will change depending on which astrologer you talk to and which system they use, whether it's an older system or a newer system. And I kind of fall somewhere in between. I think that why can't it be ruled by both? I mean, because Scorpio does exhibit some of the qualities that we associate with Mars as well as Pluto. So I think it makes a lot of sense. Mars is the planet of aggression. It's the warrior planet. So it makes sense to me that Scorpio would be ruled by Mars as well, because Scorpio is really intense and concentrated and focused, like a warrior would be. So when they decide to do something, they're not just going to give up on it. They are going to stick through no matter what. Scorpio is also very passionate, which Mars is the planet of passion and sexual libido. Scorpio is the sign that's associated with sex, death, and transformation. You've probably heard that a billion times by now if you're not new to astrology. I can just see myself someday making like a learn astrology, like sing-along songs. If you piss off a Scorpio person, that's some bad news for you, man, because they might just kill you. Or at least they'll never forget it. They'll never, ever forget it. Even if they have another planet, another personal planet in Scorpio, just if you piss them off, it's over for you. You can't be friends. They're able to see into people's strengths and weaknesses almost right away. If they choose to use their abilities in a negative way, they can be very manipulative because they have a lot of just inherent insight into the human psyche, and so they can use that against other people. If they're a nicer person, they might choose to use that insight to heal people. They make really good therapists. They can easily understand other people's emotions and they can easily empathize with them. Okay, everybody, this has been my interpretation of the Sun in Scorpio. I'm sorry if it wasn't super detailed for you, but there's plenty of YouTube videos out there, and I hope that I can just offer my unique insight when I can. Well, everybody, until I see you next time, have a really fabulous day.